Hey guys, welcome back. This is Eric again. I wanted to go just start diving into different aspects of this scene as I promised in the overview video. And one of the big things I wanted to hit on was this notion of working directly in VR. And I thought I would just, I don't, none of this is scripted. I'm just going to talk a little bit about the tools and how I like to use them. I'm going to switch over to full camera here. Uh, this is the VR headset that I use for working in Unreal Engine. This is an Oculus Rift S. It is their, I guess, newest of the desktop class headsets. It is, make sure I'm on camera there. It uses what's called inside-out tracking. So you can see there's cameras studded all over the headset. Those actually use processing to analyze the space around me and figure out how it is moving through space. And it sends the telemetry back through this cable, which also sends the video to the headset. And then likewise, there are two hand controllers, one for each hand, that are also tracked by the camera. So let me see if I can manipulate from the headset to this. Oops, as I hit my own microphone to the other headset. Give me 1 second. Turn this microphone off. Turn that microphone on. It looks like I got levels. And then I'm just going to go ahead and throw the headset on. So, all right. Make sure everything is coming through. Yep. Looks like we're good to go. So, what's great is I can throw this headset on at any time and explore the scene that I'm working on. Before I get into how I manipulate things in the world, I just want to talk about navigation. So I can teleport to anywhere I want in the scene, and what's nice is when I do that, it will show me the scene at 1-to-1 scale, meaning what I see is representative of what I would see in game if I was playing this. I mean, in a sense, I am playing it live. In addition to that, this controller is rendering a little weird. We have a bug because we've done some custom modification to this mode, which I'll get into in a minute. But just ignore that. It's fine. It doesn't affect the performance or the operation at all. I can also scale the scene down, which is fantastic because now I feel like I have a little toy set in front of me. In fact, you can see over here I have all of my source props laid out. This is the scene that I threw together. I showed a time lapse in the last video. Ignore the skyline. This is a sphere sky texture that I purchased just to get some lighting rapidly into the scene. If to take this to final, I would paint all of that out and put in probably a better sky and all that, but it's good enough for now. So when I'm in this sort of miniature mode, I can just drag myself through the scene and kind of shop for the parts I want to work with. Like, let's look at these library of parts. I just warped myself down, and now I'm behind the scenes. I'm looking at garbage back here, but that's a cool looking rock. Let me grab that rock, and so now I have a rock I can manipulate. I'm going to scale myself back up, scale the world back down, and move it over to where I'm working. All right, so we've got this little rock here. I can manipulate it. I can pinch it and pull it and push it and scale it just like on an iPhone using two hands. But you'll notice when I move it, it sort of just follows my hand. It doesn't reorient itself. And earlier when I said that we have done some custom modifications to the engine, this is the main thing I'm talking about for the VR editor. And this is the part where I have to give a gigantic shout out to Cyan's amazing engineering team. It is super, I feel super spoiled to work with a team of programmers who are willing to genuinely listen to artist input and feedback and work to make better tools for all of us, because it's better for everybody. In this particular case, Jason Calvert, one of our engine programmers, looked at some of the feedback I was giving about this tool and was basically like, I think we can make this better. And so my complaint about it was this lack of rotation, because that's not really intuitive, and you can't see it, but I just switched my thumbstick, and he added the ability for this 6 degrees of freedom orientation, which it's hard to convey, but instantaneously this feels like a toy model that I can just pick up and move around. And combined with the ability to scale yourself, I just punched the punched the mic. Whoops. It's unparalleled in terms of rapid manipulation of your scene. We have a rotate only mode as well. So if I have a rock that's positioned way over there and I just want to rotate it in place, I can move into rotate only mode, and you can't quite see it. I'll get my hand in view there, but I'm just manipulating my hand and it matches the rotation of my hand. I can always switch back to the 6 degrees of freedom movement as well. I can push and pull objects, which is kind of nice. Force grabbing. And then, like I said, I can scale. There's a whole bunch of other UI tools I can bring up as well. Like you can see this widget that comes up if I want to move accurately or scale on one axis. But honestly, most of the time, unless I'm doing specific non-uniform scaling where I need to make it longer along one axis, I usually just work like this, and it's super freeing. If I wanted to build a structure, I can hold down a modifier button to clone things. So this is so intuitive, because if I'm working on a flat screen and I'm manipulating, you can only ever, at best, operate on 2 axes at once, right? You're always moving in 2-dimensional space. I'm going to sort of simulate, right? I can move it left, right, or up and down. That's what your mouse interface gets you. That's it. But in VR, I can push and pull, right? And obviously, I can extreme push and pull if I use that as well. And it's hard to even convey in a video like this, but it gives you a sense of grounding and placement and relationship to other objects that you simply never ever get in 2D mode. And like I said in the last video, it has sort of made it so that when I'm especially when I'm doing rough layout on a scene, I never want to operate any other way again, because I'm immediately getting a sense of scope and scale and composition and distance and atmosphere, and it's fantastic. And then of course, it's hard to not feel like you're just a kid on a playground when you're in, like large mode, and let's pretend this were a mountain or something. Building mountain ranges like this, or building giant structures, it's so fast and so rapid. And I'm just going to make a sloppy mess here because this is just a quick little show and tell, but you can do some epic stuff so quickly. Yeah, hard to overstate. All right, another feature that I want to show is this is another Cyan custom feature. Any of you guys who have followed along way back, even including the abduction project, know that we're really big on rapidly prototyping spaces for the game. And one of the tools that we use that our programmers have done an amazing job with, and we've used for all kinds of things over the years, are tools that we call slabs. And slab is nothing more than a cube that you can manipulate. We used to use these in 2D all the time, and we've updated the slab system to be manipulatable in VR as well, which means we have the ability to rapidly mock up hard surfaces, I guess is the way I would describe this. Can kind of freely manipulate them, and by holding down a modifier button, I can reshape this box. I want to get a sense of how big this thing is. Okay, so it's about standing height for me. How thick do I want this to be? I want it to be that thick. I want to copy it. So this is a case where I went back to move only instead of rotate because I want to make sure the walls stay parallel. So I'll move it over here. I'm going to give myself a copy up here. Yeah, that is some sloppy building, but hopefully that gets the point across in terms of what we can use this kind of stuff for. And being able to do this all in VR, in the headset, and get a sense of space and scale and distance. And so now we have a white shack. Hopefully that makes sense and is kind of cool. It certainly is fun to use, and yeah. Anyway, we'll show you more next time.